Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lunch and Learn Live with Lynn. I'm actually trying a new format today. I'm in the upstairs of my house versus my downstairs office. And this is where my dog is, my dog Finley. I actually am writing a children's book called Finley Talks Finances. Hopefully, during this live, we don't hear from Finley because he has a very loud, deep bark. But right now he's sleeping and we're going to let him sleep. Anyway, we are here today to talk about home equity in retirement. What I wanted to do was talk to women about how they can leverage the equity in their home to potentially make retirement a little better financially, mentally, when we have less worries about our money in retirement or any time in life, actually, but in retirement, we're going to live a better life and retirement because we're going to have less stress, and stress is a killer. So one of my goals is to help remove any anxiety you have, or as much anxiety as possible, from the equation so that you can just go out and enjoy things. Today's a beautiful fall day. I just went for a walk with my dog, Finley. And to be able to do those things without the stress. So I'm going to talk about how you can take your home equity, because many women end up with a home. Through the divorce process, they could end up with the home, which is another issue, but that's for another day. But in terms of using your home equity, if you end up with the home through divorce, through widowhood, it can be used as a strategic tool to help you in retirement, especially if you are, quote, income constrained. So if you're income constrained in retirement, the projections show that you may not have enough cash flow in retirement for all of your needs. This is where home equity can play a huge part, because so many people have equity in their home, so many women have equity in their home, but they might not have as much revenue, or what I call retirement paycheck, as they need to cover their living expenses and the way they want to live. I always talk about how income planning isn't really about your assets. It's about how you can create an income in retirement. So it's great to have an asset like your home, but is it generating an income? Well, I'm going to talk today about how it could potentially, while you're living in it, also generate an income. You can have your cake and eat it too, potentially. All right. So yes, you can leverage your home equity in retirement through something called a reverse mortgage. Now, if you're not familiar with reverse mortgages, or you've heard horrible stories about them, back in the day when they first came out, there were no consumer protections, there was no education, there was greedy salespeople in some cases selling reverse mortgages to uneducated consumers. And the worst thing is an uneducated consumer, because you're purchasing something you really don't understand, or someone's selling it to you for not the right purpose. So I always say that you can make intelligent buying decisions when you educate yourself. You'll never be sold anything if you get educated and you understand what you are purchasing or investing in, or whatever it may be. So let's talk about these regulated financial products. They've come a long way. There are education requirements now before you purchase a reverse mortgage, or before you invest in a reverse mortgage. And there's all kinds of other rules and regulations. But an expert in retirement planning, who has nothing to do with selling reverse mortgages, and I don't either, I don't make a dime off of selling reverse mortgages. He, like me, we're here to educate people, to give women some outside the box strategies that many financial advisors, or most, I would say, probably aren't talking about. One, because they're not retirement planning experts, and two, they're really not spending the time to look into the strategies that could potentially put women, in this case, in a better position in retirement. So this expert believes that reverse mortgages are like a Swiss Army knife of retirement, because there's so many different ways that they can be used to improve your retirement. I did say that they're regulated, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but they are financial products that allow homeowners, typically age 62 or over, to convert part of their home equity into cash. Okay. Unlike the traditional mortgage where you make payments to the lender, with a reverse mortgage, the lender pays you. So I want to talk about some of the key features of reverse mortgages. 62, got to be 62. You must own your home outright or have significant equity in it. And significant is probably like 60% or more. And the home must be your primary residence. You can't do a reverse mortgage on a vacation home. How you receive the money? Well, you can receive it in a lump sum. You get a one-time payout. You can get a line of credit where you access funds as needed with the unused balance growing over time. That's one of the more popular ways because you just have this line of credit sitting there for if you need it. So this can be a plan A or it can be a plan B. Or you can do monthly payments. You receive a set amount each and every month. And then you can do a combination of the options. There are no required monthly payments. With a reverse mortgage, you aren't required to make monthly loan payments. The loan balance plus interest and fees accumulates over time and is typically repaid when you sell the home, move out, or by your heirs when you pass away. Interest accumulation, so interest is added to the loan balance each month. However, you only pay interest on the amount you borrow. So if you've got the line of credit, you're not paying any interest on it. But if you're borrowing, you are. And since no monthly payments are required, the loan balance grows over time. All right. There's no required monthly payments. With a reverse mortgage, you aren't required to pay monthly loan payments. The loan balance plus interest and fees accumulates over time and is typically repaid when you sell the home, move out, or pass away. Okay. Loan repayment, it's basically repaid when you sell the home, you move out of the home for more than a year, like moving into a long-term care facility, and the loan is typically repaid when the last borrower passes away. The home is usually sold to repay the loan, and any remaining equity goes to the heirs. If the home's value exceeds the loan balance at repayment, your heirs are not responsible for paying the difference. So let me repeat that. If the home's value exceeds the loan balance at repayment, your heirs are not responsible for paying the difference. Okay. Loan limits. The amount you can borrow depends on your age. Older borrowers are typically able to borrow more. The home's appraised value, interest rates, and the amount of equity you have in the home. Now, as far as ownership and responsibility, you remain the owner of your home and are responsible for paying property taxes, homeowners insurance, and maintaining the home. So some of the stories you hear about people like losing their home because they got a reverse mortgage, it actually wasn't because of the reverse mortgage. It was because they were actually too poor to have a reverse mortgage. So if you can't afford your property taxes, your insurance, and maintaining the home, then you shouldn't have a reverse mortgage, because I've heard of people losing their homes because they didn't pay the property tax. Regardless of what kind of mortgage or no mortgage you have, you got to pay your property tax, or eventually they're going to come and take your home. So let's talk about the benefits of a reverse mortgage. How can you use a reverse mortgage in retirement to make your retirement outcome better? Supplemental income. So a reverse mortgage provides tax-free, very important, tax-free funds to cover living expenses, medical costs, or other financial needs. So tax-free is a huge benefit because there's other income sources in retirement where you do have to pay taxes. So this is a huge benefit. No monthly payments, so it frees up cash flow since you don't have to make loan payments. You have a growing line of credit. So if you choose the line of credit, it can grow over time, providing an even larger safety net, okay? Because you might be using this as a safety net. I love the word safety. I'm all about a safety-first approach to retirement planning. So having that growing line of credit that allows you to have that growing financial safety net is so important. Let's say you're coupled up and one of you gets sick and needs care, out-of-pocket healthcare costs, a long-term care visit. How do you pay for that? Long-term care insurance is really, really expensive. This might be a better way to fund healthcare needs, long-term care needs. Okay. Flexibility can be used as a tool to delay Social Security benefits, cover healthcare costs, or really important is selling your investments in a down market. So let's say the market crashes, goes down, like we've seen over time, it does. If you happen to be in retirement and the market goes down and you were relying on that nest egg to pull money from, having a reverse mortgage could allow you to keep your assets sitting tight, waiting for the market to recover. And then when the market recovers, you can go back to pulling money from that nest egg. So it can do wonders potentially for preserving your investments. Now, some potential drawbacks. Decreases home equity. So over time, the loan balance increases, reducing the equity you have in your home. 2, it affects your insurance. Since the loan must be repaid, there may be less home equity left over for your heirs. All right. So, you'd have to ask your kids, right? How important is the home to them, right? And weigh that against your needs, right? So I'm all about making sure your needs are met because your kids are going to have their own life, their own retirement. So you need to make sure that you're going to be okay. You have to do what's best for you. Some people feel what's best for them is also making sure that they have some type of legacy for their children. Now, with a reverse mortgage, it doesn't mean that they won't get the house. It's just they'll get the house minus whatever you've used, right? So whatever you've used, whatever you've pulled from, decreases the value of the house. All right. Costs. Reverse mortgages can have higher upfront fees, including origination fees, mortgage insurance, and closing costs. So you have to make sure you understand those and understand the trade-off between the fee and the value you're going to get. But those fees, like a mortgage, can be worked into the reverse mortgage. The most common reverse mortgage type is a home equity conversion mortgage or a HECM. Okay, so if you hear HECM, this is insured by the Federal Housing Authority Administration, the FHA, and it offers protection like non-recourse clause, meaning you or your heirs won't owe more than the home's value at sale. Okay, so it's non-recourse. So again, you or your heirs won't owe more than the home's value at sale. Very important. Now, there are private reverse mortgage companies, but a HECM is backed by the FHA. So you can look at private reverse mortgage companies, or you can find a HECM lender. But you won't have that insurance, that protection. So in summary, a reverse mortgage allows you to turn your home equity into cash while you continue to live in your home and providing financial flexibility in retirement. But you really have to weigh the pros and cons you need to understand. And in fact, like I said, in order to take out a reverse mortgage, you need to take an educational program. It's not like weeks and weeks and weeks. It's like hours. You take this course to make sure you understand, because the government said we want consumer protection in place. We believe that that people need to understand this financial product before they purchase it. So they require that education. I have a quote here. This is actually a guide that I put together. It's called Her Home Equity, Leveraging Her Home Equity to Improve Retirement. So what I'm going to do is I will provide a link to this guide that you can download and print after the live, after you've watched this, and you can read. Because I think when you watch, listen, read, it sinks in, okay? But one of the quotes in this that I put in here is Dr. Wade Pfau, who's a retirement researcher. He is one of the top retirement researchers in the industry. And he actually has a couple books on reverse mortgage, a couple editions for people that really want to kind of geek out on this stuff and really understand reverse mortgages. But he said, I know that reverse mortgages can look potentially expensive in isolation, but reverse mortgages should not be viewed that way. We need to focus on their overall contribution and interaction with other retirement assets as well. So take the time to understand them, understand how they might potentially benefit you, especially if you are an income constrained retiree. So if you're just joining us, if you missed this, I see a lot of people with homes. They have equity in their home. They want to stay in their home, but they're income constrained because they don't have enough guaranteed income or they don't have a big enough nest egg. But maybe they have a $700,000 house that's paid off, or they only have a $100,000 mortgage. That is a dead asset. So the name of the game in retirement planning is, how do you create income? Don't focus on assets. Great to have assets, but can they produce that income flow? Because you aren't going to be working in theory. Maybe you're going to work part-time, but in theory, you're not working. You're going to live off of the income that can be drawn from those assets. So this is just a way to take that home equity, to take your home and create it into an income producing strategy. Okay, so it's just another stream of income that could potentially make your income last longer and potentially leave more to your heirs. So I want to cover a case study real quick. This is Mary. She's age 65. Her home value is $600,000. Her mortgage balance is paid off. Her retirement savings is $500,000. Her goal for retirement is to create a sustainable income, protect against market volatility, and leave a legacy for her family. Now, one of her other goals could be tax planning, because when you take money from your reverse mortgage, it's tax-free. So that is a reverse mortgage actually is one of the things we talk about in our tax planning class, because it is a tax planning strategy, and it doesn't affect your required minimum distributions. But more on that later. Okay, so here's the problem. Mary has worked hard to pay off her home, making it one of her largest assets. Okay. While she's done a great job of saving for retirement, she's concerned about whether her current savings will last long enough. Like, how much income can that $500,000 of retirement savings throw off in a retirement paycheck? She's concerned because it's invested in the market, and, with uncertainty of the stock market and the potential need for long-term care, she's concerned about her health. Will she need long-term care? She's also thinking about how she can maximize her retirement income, minimize taxes, while also leaving something for her children. Well, in this case, one of the solutions, one of the strategies is a reverse mortgage. So, she learned about this idea of using her home equity to create this financial flexibility in retirement. So let me talk about what this allowed her to do. Turn her home into a backup plan for market volatility, with a reverse mortgage line of credit growing 6 to 8% typically annually. Mary now has a reserve fund to tap into during any of those market downturns, preventing her from selling her investments at a loss. So that's a huge cost. That's a huge impact if you have to sell those investments at a loss. So if you can use a reverse mortgage not to sell those investments at a loss, big gain. Okay. Eliminate her loan payment, paying off her mortgage with the reverse mortgage proceeds. She'll no longer have a required monthly mortgage payment. This will free up her retirement income. She'll grow her reserve fund, potentially surpassing $1 million. So the reverse line of credit not only provides immediate access to funds, but grows over time. So over the next 15 years, the line of credit could exceed $1 million, giving Mary significant liquidity. Minimizes her taxes, utilizing a reverse mortgage instead of withdrawing from her taxable retirement accounts. She's able to lower her taxable income and keep her overall tax burden in retirement lower. The line of credit gave Mary some peace of mind that she could leave her investments, right? Because she's not tapping into those investments. She can leave those investments to her children rather than depleting them to cover unexpected expenses. And she can defer her Social Security for a higher payout. So with the reverse mortgage covering her cash flow needs, she's able to delay claiming Social Security till 70, securing 32% higher monthly benefit for life. And she's able to create a safety net for emergencies. It allows her to have a steady source of funds to cover unforeseen events like healthcare issues, home repairs, ensuring that she wouldn't have to tap into those savings and investments. She's also able to create a long-term care plan, right? In the event she requires long-term care, the reverse mortgage can be used to cover those costs, protecting her savings and giving her access to care without stress, without worry. She'll increase her cash flow in retirement. She's able to access the equity in her home to supplement her retirement income, giving her financial freedom, right? She doesn't have to worry about that. Maybe she can travel more and enjoy more hobbies, like live life, right? That's what it's all about. Like if you're sitting on this asset that can give you a better lifestyle and enjoy your retirement more, maybe it's an option for you. And making, mortgage payments voluntary. While Mary could make payments on the reverse mortgage, like you certainly can make payments, they're not required. Giving you more flexibility in your cash flow. So you don't have to make the monthly payment on a reverse mortgage, or you can pay some. By paying some, it's just going to lessen, allow you to have more equity in the home if you wanted to do that. So what is the outcome? Mary feels more financially secure in retirement because she knows she has this plan A and plan B financially, right? She's using all of the arrows in her quiver, right? We have arrows. We just have to figure out how we can use them and which ones are going to work best for us. By turning her home into a versatile financial tool, she's created multiple backup plans for market volatility, emergency expenses, long-term care for herself, for her spouse, partner, while also increasing her cash flow and potentially, if you choose, defer your Social Security so that your Social Security amount when you take it is higher. Most importantly is, I believe, she has that peace of mind, right? She's set up for a more comfortable retirement with a plan to leave a legacy for her family. So she's kind of able to accomplish a lot of different things, leveraging the equity in her home. So one of the things that we do at her retirement is, one, to educate you about these concepts to improve your retirement. Like I said, I don't sell reverse mortgages, but I do have a network of experts for the things that I personally don't offer. Reverse mortgages, home equity conversion mortgages. I have a couple different resources that I can connect you with, people that I've vetted and that can educate you further and run analysis to say, okay, here's my situation. Here's what I have for home equity. Here's my age. Here's where I want to retire. Here's what I have for retirement savings. How can this benefit me? And so I encourage people to at least be open-minded and to learn about these strategies and see how these strategies could potentially benefit you. So have the scenario run, have the analysis run. You could connect up with any of my resources. Also, I co-own Your Retirement Advisor. We do full retirement planning and run these, we call them retirement diagnostics, where we implement these different strategies. In fact, I'm talking about all these strategies tonight on a webinar / Q&A session I'm hosting at 6:30. I'll also put the link to that, last minute if you happen to want to show up and participate in that. We're going to be talking about the key strategies that women can use in retirement, and then we're going to have a Q&A session where you can ask any question you have about retirement. But one of the strategies we'll touch on is reverse mortgage and how to leverage your home equity in retirement. And then we're going to cover a bunch of other a bunch of other strategies tonight. So I will put the link to that class if you'd like to join us for that event tonight at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And so what I'm also going to do is put a link to this Her Home Equity Guide also below in the show notes from today's live event so that you can download this, read a couple case studies, and then get educated, right? I think that our whole goal as a platform at Her Retirement is to educate women. So, because I believe when you know more, you can have more and you can live more, but to really present strategies to you that someone might not have educated you about. So thank you for watching today's live about leveraging your home equity in retirement and how a reverse mortgage could benefit you. And again, make sure you understand anything that you're considering as a strategy for your retirement. In this guide is a checklist for vetting someone as you're talking to them about reverse mortgages and how to leverage your home equity so that you can ask the right questions. Because I know so often women like, I don't really know all the questions to ask. But the right person and the people that I have in my network, I've vetted to make sure they're really good at what they do and they're committed to educating you. They're not salespeople. They're retirement consultants who are really trying to put you in the best position possible so that we can take your money worries off the table, or for the most part, take them off the table so that you can go enjoy your retirement with less worry or perhaps no worry about your financial situation. So thank you for watching this live today. Definitely reach out to me at lynnt@herretirement.com with any questions and check out the link to the guide and to my webinar tonight happening on, what is today? Thursday, October 24th, 2024. And, I started this whole thing out by saying that my dog, who's sleeping around the corner, I was hoping that he wouldn't wake up and bark because he has a really deep bark. So he did a great job being quiet today so Mom could do a Lunch and Learn Live. So thank you all, and I hope to see you next week for Lunch and Learn Live. And I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I decide usually that morning what I want to talk about. But yeah, here's to knowing more, having more, and living more. Let's get her done.